Welcome back, everyone, to Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. You're with Randall Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, when I have gotten into a conversation and now my hobo is tired. Oops!
A woman waits while a man in a truck fills 2 of her buckets with scoops of whitish powder from a bin. She sees you staring.
Want to make some cash?
She calls.
What am I doing? You know I need the money. Don't fuck around, lady.
She takes you up the drive to her farmhouse, where son and daughter are mixing something in a metal barrel.
Locust bait.
She says.
Poison. The town bought enough for everyone, but we gotta mix it ourselves.
She'll pay you to help.
Oh boy, here's hoping I don't breathe in fucking locust poison.
You use a broom handle to mix the poison with bran. The teens watch from the porch, faces frozen in distrustful scowls. Their mother pays you well, but later in the day you feel lightheaded, tingling pins and needles all over. You feel only a little better after you vomit.
Oh great. Moving on. Ah, great. I'm a pile of garbage. I cannot enter Milwaukee. That's just where Milwaukee is. Is that a star? Okay, that's just a star. Some story changed. Who is it? The men in the hardware store. What's up? Witch girl and her kitten familiars. Wait a second. It's a story about the girl with the basket of kittens. Someone's added it in the meantime. What do you think? You think that really happened? I mean, yeah. Well, I'm not sure myself, but damn, it sounds wild. Story grew in the telling. Oh boy, I need a campfire. I also learned how to swap tails out.
There's something wrong about this lonely farmhouse. The cows have unusual rain over the porch, and the open door shows a cow lying in the empty parlor. The flower boxes are still well tended, though. There's outgoing mail in the box.
How strange.
The moment you step inside the fence, an old woman screams,
Hey! Hey! This is private property!
You quickly realize that the sound is coming from under the porch. Indeed, you can see her hollering at you through the slats of the steps.
Excuse me, ma'am? You seem to have a bit of the cow foot.
You can see a parlor set up in the basin under the porch. A flowery armchair, a rug, and a little lacquered table.
This is an inhabited home.
The old lady barks.
The cows live upstairs and I live down here.
Above, a cow thumps its hoof. She twitches and startles.
I could use some more world stories. I mean, I'll chase them off for you if you want.
Her whole face melts.
Thank you.
She sobs.
Thank you.
With a sharp stick, you carefully urge the 3 cows inside the parlor to exit. Soon the place is completely empty, except for the manure. She still kisses the floorboards in gratitude.
Ew. How did this happen?
I didn't want to tell anyone. They kept me trapped down there for weeks. I had to sneak out one piece of furniture at a time. At night.
She rushes to lock all the doors.
It was a mutiny. It won't happen again.
Just gonna move on. The woman who hid from the cows under her house. Wait, that makes it sound like the cows were under the house and kept her upstairs. Now let's not worry about it, shall we? There's a campfire over there, but I'm almost certain that for someone we already know. Yeah, that's Clark Deacon. Yeah, fuck, I don't remember his name. Anyway, he's over there. Christ, there's a whole lot of nothing between me and anyone else. Best off following Route 10 at this point. Or is that Route 41? 41 then. criminy. Let me shove out the thumb. Oh, please tell me. Yes. Let me in, yo. Or is this happening again? What the hell? Maybe I'm not supposed to walk while I hitchhike. But then why would I be able to do both, like, at the same time, you know? Like, why even make that an option? Ah. Yeah, whatever. Looks like I ended up getting to Minneapolis quicker than I expected. Ah, man, the game is giving me a lot of slowdown now that I've discovered more and more of the map. It's really kind of frustrating, actually. Alright. Get our cross on. And in Minneapolis? Not quite. Let's collect some stories first.
The plants grow and blossom as you watch. The man goes down the line, applying a few drops from a vial as he goes. As the liquid soaks in, each plant pushes up from the soil, unfolding and stretching for the sky.
That's miraculous!
He turns to you.
It's quite something, isn't it? Soy here strangles the crops. People are starving. But even when the plants survive, they don't grow fast enough to fill people's bellies.
He smiles.
My miracle formula will change that.
How does it work, though?
He shakes his head.
I'm not giving up my secrets that easily. The state will pay a lot of money for this.
He shakes the vial. He tears off a leaf.
Here, try some.
Taste the plant?
It's just bitter at first. But as you swallow, the fibrous mass burns in your throat. You fight to hold it down, and your stomach knots tight when the plant matter hits it. You cough and hiccup. The man looks at you, curious.
What do you think?
It tastes like unwashed death, sir.
He waves a hand.
Well, yes, there are some kinks to work out, but people are starving. They can't be fussy. Won't be long before no one around here goes hungry again.
Your stomach protests. You feel like you'll be hungry again very soon indeed.
Oh my. Please stop making me sick. Dubious but promising miracle growth formula. What do we have here?
She waits by the ruined mill, in an overcoat 2 sizes too big.
Look, over here. Look at this.
She yells.
This only happens once every 10 years, for Christ's sake.
She grabs your hand, and you both look at the black gear rolling west to cover the sun.
The black gear? I'm gonna look at it.
Steadily, the darkness draws across the sun until it is almost total. She clutches your hand tightly.
I've never seen this before. I've never seen this.
The sun, obscured, throbs and expands, raging against the night.
Keep looking at it.
The eclipse breaks. The sun surges forward, screaming, burning, writhing in torment. Your eyes burn too, as if in retaliation, as if your witness of the sun's humiliation constituted some great insult.
You mean it doesn't?
You look at her. Her eyes are bleeding.
Move on. Oh good, I didn't lose all my health. In a Minneapolis I go. Store, what you got? An ice cream float. Hot dish. Hot dish and an iced coffee sounds fantastic. Thank you. Good eye opener. Let's explore.
3 delivery trucks sit on the waterfront, their drivers securing the cargo. 12 cop cars form a protective half ring around them. Their occupants seem to be gearing up for combat.
Huh. What's up? Why 12 cop cars? What do they got that's so valuable?
You approach a pair of cops. The broad one pushes shells into a shotgun with a practiced motion and an undercurrent of excitement. His wiry partner indicates the trucks.
We gotta get these through. Keep them secure.
From what? An army?
The broad cop grunts. You been living under a rock?
Strikers.
Says the other. Socialist motherfuckers. The broad one adds. The wiry cop looks away.
Well, why are they striking?
The broad cop sneers. Doesn't matter. They better fall in line. The other shakes his head.
My cousin's out there. I don't think their demands are...
Maybe you're standing on the wrong side. Come on. They walk off to join a briefing huddle.
Sabotaging their car is probably the right thing to do, but apparently leaving them is the just thing to do, and I could use some more tales about justice.
Whatever your feelings, there's nothing you can do. You turn away and walk back towards the river.
Earn some cash. What happens when I panhandle? A man in a nice suit looks very pensive, strolls up and sits on the curb beside you. For a dime? He nods distractedly. You know, I've been working since I was a little fella. I worked my way up and I built my company from nothing. He hasn't even looked at you. He doesn't need a response. Now it's back to nothing again. Nods sympathetically. He looks at you for the first time. Here, he says suddenly, pulling a well-worn bill from his pocket. It was my first, and now it's my last. I don't really need it anymore. He hands you the money and with a jaunty spring in his step, strolls toward the nearby railway pass. Thanks, man. That's all I needed, just $1 to get by. Oh, also, I should mention, so if I go to my stories, I can go through the different tarot cards, and then if I have more, I can only have 3 stories of a certain tarot equipped. So then if I have more than those in reserve, I can swap those around. So I could go Cassidy's verse, soldier who came home to find his girl getting married in Chicago. And so awakened stories are more valuable than unawakened stories, but everything is a different subject and everything is a different tarot. So, you know, it's important to figure out what the subject of the story is and then how I can use that to my advantage. All that jazz, blah, blah, blah. Actually, where's that railway go? I think the red line? Because I'd really love just to head up Washington Way. It looks like this railway heads up to Washington, if I'm not mistaken. They're both the red line, right? Hop a train. Oh, wait, no. Could I? Oh, yep. Great Northern, headed to Seattle. Never mind, I appear to be boxcar surfing. Here's hoping I don't die. Oh. Oh, God. Game, you okay? As you hop off the boxcar, you suddenly feel the heavy weight of a railroad bull on your shoulder. Now, where'd you come from? He asks in a way that indicates he doesn't care. You don't mess with the Rio Grande's cards. The beating that ensues is efficient and brutal. Move on. Oh, God, my health. It's gone. Seattle, please let me in. Put some... Oh, God, I could go for a spaghetti plate. There we go. All right, I'm back up. I'm back up and running. We're great.
On top of a hillside boxcar, 4 men in sailors' clothes fix their eyes on the distant waterfront, where a crowd of hundreds clashes with uniformed cops. From this far, the sound resembles some loud, tenacious animal.
What's all this then?
After a while of silence, one of the men responds. You notice his bruised eye.
Waiting on the police to deal with those strikers so we can get back to work.
So you're not on the strike?
The man clenches his fists.
Hey, mind your damn business.
All right, then.
One of those bastards dragged me off the pier and...
The police open fire into the crowd. As the shots ring out, the character of the sound changes altogether into terror and pain.
Oh, fuck this. Bye.
So succinctly put. Fuck this.
No point dying for a day's work.
The man crawls to the edge of the boxcar and hops off. The sound of gunfire continues all across the port, but the dense picket line remains unbroken.
Move on. The scab with the black eye. Try to earn some cash. Let's look for some work. We had on a lumber warehouse for hours. You don't get there early enough to work in the warehouse, but trucks swing by every few minutes, picking up loads of fresh wood, and sometimes a few people in the street corner for a job elsewhere in the city. Let's wait. Battered pickup stops at the curb. There's only a few planks in the bed of the truck. The cab is packed with teenagers. A young man with a bent cigarette dripping from his lips shouts to you, "Hey, want to make some cash?" Doing what? "Sucking my dick." "Shut up," blurts the smoker, shoving his companion hard. It's painting a house," he says. No thanks. The boys in the truck start screaming a lot of really vile stuff, and the driver, red-faced, stomps on the gas so hard that the flap on the back of the truck flops open and his 2x4 scatter all over the street. Dodged a bullet there, probably. Yeah. Alright, let's hear a story that evolved into the telling. A long black car growls up in front of this hotel. Out steps a woman in an extravagant hat and coat, followed by a whole crowd of hangers-on. Is she a singer, an actress? You don't recognize her face, but to your surprise, you recognize the story she's telling. Listen in. In a sharp transatlantic accent, she tells everyone in her party a story about the shootout between the female bootleggers and the cops. It's clearly the story of the women arrested for bootlegging, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Keep listening in. "Isn't that something?" she asks. Her various followers agree. She pays the driver of the limousine and sweeps into the hotel like a thunderstorm of red velvet. "Someone should do a picture about it," you hear her exclaim. Well then, let me throw the story of the bootleggers back in. What tale was that? Strange bust, shiftless father. No. It wasn't sadness, was it? No. Not creepy mill. Perhaps. The eclipse on the farm. Prefer the violin in that regard. There we go. Old Barney. That's a spooky one. I appear to already have. I have so many spooky stories. I can't shake them away with a stick. All right. Who do we have here? August, the wharf rat.
You see me here? You think you know me?
Oh my.
I didn't start out in the gutter. I was raised right. Mama taught me to read off the Bible.
Really now?
But I'd save up my nickels for the collection plate and buy story rags instead. That smell of wood and paper. But you know, the books I miss the most is the hopeful ones. Got any of those?
Hopeful stories? I can't say I have many of those, but I can tell you about the blessed lighthouse sanctuary where souls in love can find respite. Hopefully that's hopeful enough.
Well, that one sure makes me smile.
Sweet.
Love? Yeah, those stories had love and even some sex. But I was too young. The understanding would come later. But you tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen on the roads out here? Anything good and exciting?
Wild? You want wild? Well, the shoot up between the female bootleggers and the cops. Is that wild enough for you?
That's the kind of adventure that sticks with you. Well, we're talking about the rules. My daddy hated those rags. He whipped me good. Told me hard work's the only way to survive in this world. No use living in my head.
Aww.
Some of them story rags, they'd end so sad I'd almost cry. You got any of those?
Do I got any sad stories? Do I have sad stories? Ooh, this is a perfect opportunity to tell about Franklin's travels. Focusing on the tragic parts.
That's a good one. Hard, but good. Talking about sadness. Yeah, I'm sad. Wish I had one of those rags now. Wish I could see well enough to read them.
Oh, that's rough, mate.
So I miss them blood-pounding adventure stories. You got any like that?
I do. That I do. How about the haunted hotel with the ghost twin toddlers? Is that spooky enough for you? I don't know. I want to call him Zebo, and I know
I've
that's not
seen
his
things
name.
100 times worse than that, I can tell you.
Really?
Traps? Suppose I like those stories, on account of seeing my daddy working himself so hard he came home to drink. Ain't no way out of that, let me tell you. So I miss them blood-pounding adventure stories. You got any like that?
All right. Citing things. How about the story of the red creature? Does that count as pulse pounding? I'd like to learn about it myself.
Well, fear is cheap. I used to read the scary ones, so I know.
Okay, so the red creature is scary, and the twin toddlers is exciting.
My fate was cast the moment I first read those story rags. First time I bought one, I used an extra nickel I found on the ground. If I hadn't, I'd have wasted my nickel on hard candy. My daddy wanted me to quit reading them rags. Said it kept me from hard work. Got his wish, but he didn't get hard work instead. Anyway, I'm headed out this way when the sun comes up. I like your tales. Hope we cross paths again.
I suspect that we shall. Farewell, August. Pardon me for forgetting your name. Alright then. I'm gonna get all the stories around Seattle way. Head south a ways, then probably back east to go run into August again. But until then, thank you very much for joining me on this fine evening. If you liked what you saw, if you want to continue the adventure, please hit subscribe. If you think that what I do is really keen, you can send me a couple bucks monthly on Patreon. I can use that money to do fantastic, amazing things like make more videos, start streaming, hire nurses to do cool shit, do the coolest thing I can think of, pay my rent. But until then, good night, everyone.